What's up, everyone? This is Chris Murch with the International Champions Cup. It's both an exciting and nerve-wracking time to be an American football fan. On one hand, the U.S. men's national team hasn't played up to any form that we can call good in a few years, missing out on the World Cup in 2018, losing the Gold Cup final in 2019, and losing to nations like Canada has put a sour taste in many fans' mouths. The exciting part is that there is a lot of young American talent coming up, especially in Europe. Let's take a look at these players overseas and see what they have brought to the table for their respective clubs this season. First, we'll start in the Premier League with Christian Pulisic of Chelsea. The most expensive American player of all time, Pulisic has had an up and down first year in the Premier League. In 16 league matches, Pulisic registered 5 goals, including becoming the youngest ever player for Chelsea to score a hat trick. He followed that up with 2 more goals in back-to-back league games, as well as a goal in the Champions League against Valencia. His stock was certainly on the rise before a January injury to his abductor muscle kept him out of play from the top of the year until shutdown. Now, with a few months of free rest with the COVID-19 pandemic, Pulisic should be back to form if the Prem resumes and is ready to take England by storm. Next, we'll go over to Newcastle United and talk about DeAndre Yedlin. Yedlin has become a fixture as a right back for Newcastle United, well, until this year, that is. After averaging more than 31 appearances the last 3 seasons, Yedlin has taken a step back and has only played in 15 matches this season, without injury. Sadly, it seems as though Yedlin has fallen out of form with Steve Bruce's 11 and has had his name in transfer rumors all year. He's a very talented player and one of the fastest in England. Let's hope post-shutdown he can bounce back. Indiana Vassilev is also in the Premier League with Aston Villa making 2 appearances this season. We will have more of a feel for his game hopefully next year. Next, we'll go to the Bundesliga. There are currently 9 Americans playing in Germany with 20 plus more in the lower German divisions. Let's take a look at my personal rankings of the Americans in the top flight Bundesliga division from 1 to 9. At number 1, we'll start with Weston McKennie of Schalke 04. At number 2, Gio Reyna at Borussia Dortmund. Number 3, Josh Sargent at Werder Bremen. Number 4, Zach Steffen at Fortuna Düsseldorf. Number 5, John Brooks at Wolfsburg. Number 6, Tyler Adams at RB Leipzig. Number 7, Timothy Chandler at Eintracht Frankfurt. Number 8, Fabian Johnson at Borussia Mönchengladbach. And number 9, Alfredo Morales at Fortuna Düsseldorf as well. Again, this is just my opinion. I based it on 2019-20 play, as well as ability moving forward to help the U.S. men's national team. Don't at me. Next, we'll take it over to the Netherlands and the Eredivisie. Sadly, the top flight league in the Netherlands announced the cancellation of their season with no champions or promotion or relegation following the COVID-19 shutdown. Currently, there are 3 Americans playing in the top division. Serginho Dest of Ajax, Desavio Payne with Emmen, and Haji Wright at VVV Venlo, with Dest being the standout given the power of Ajax and his potential at the international level. Highly recommend watching his YouTube highlights. You'll see why there was a legit battle for him between the Dutch and the Americans for his international rights. And finally, in Ligue 1, we have Timothy Weah of Lyon. The 20-year-old forward, son of football royalty George Weah, has already had an interesting career despite his relative youth. After signing with PSG in 2017, Weah made 5 appearances with the French powerhouse over 2 seasons, scoring 2 goals in 2018-19, including another in the 2018 ICC against Bayern Munich, and was subsequently loaned to Celtic. In 13 games there, he scored 3 goals, making an impression with the Scottish side. Instead, Weah went back to France, this time with Lille. Sadly, in his inaugural season, Weah only played in 3 matches due to a recurring torn hamstring, registering 0 goals. We'll have to wait until next fall to try to make an initial impression with the Lille fans. But good news, the French side qualified for the Champions League next season. So hopefully we will see another American make an impression on Europe's biggest stage. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to click the like button and follow us on social media at International Champions Cup on Instagram and Facebook, and at INT Champions Cup on Twitter. See you next week.